All right, let's get into the conversation now. Joining me is Liberal Senator Holly Hughes and Leisa Goddard from Adoni Media up in Brisbane. I could hear you. You were seething just then, Holly. I could tell that what we just played of the Prime Minister, I could tell you were getting angry.
He is just appalling. And, you know, I think as we all go through every day to day and you get caught up with all different parts of your life, and I'm in politics, some of it you kind of forget. You know, you don't remember everything. And you're right, everything he says is worse than I don't hold a hose. That was one comment Scott Morrison made, and yet it's still being trotted out. This is a guy who has consistently let our nation down, who has absolutely no idea when he needs to be seen as offering strong leadership to the country. And I was listening to you, though, talk about his weakness. I'm actually starting to think it might be more his arrogance, because Prime Ministers have very big staffs. We know Labor parties need to have very big staffs. They always have much bigger staffs than when Liberal coalition governments are in. Where is someone grabbing him and saying, get back on your favourite part of this job, the VIP, and get yourself to Melbourne. Get yourself back to Sydney after the stabbings in Bondi Junction or when the Bishop was attacked. He's obviously so arrogant because there must be, and I'm giving people in Labor the benefit of the doubt here, there must be someone in there saying this is a terror attack on home soil. The fact that he was just saying, I can only get briefed in this particular room in Canberra. I mean, sake. Do you remember when September 11 happened and they came in and they spoke to George Bush while he was reading his story? Yes. I mean, God forbid anything happened like that to us, because if, you know, Albo wasn't right near the National Security Room, well, therefore no one could have a conversation.
But also, you know, have some self-awareness. Okay, fine, he's got a huge team, okay? I think he's got a team of 10 to 12.
That would be his media team,
that would be his media team.
That's just the media team.
That's just the media team. But beyond that, have some self-awareness. Go, okay, is this a good look, me donning my white and going and practising my backhand in the middle of a terrorist incident in this country? And have a look. I want to play this to both of you. This was some of the people outside the synagogue today. Have a listen to what they said to Albo.
Please stay for tennis. The Prime Minister condemned calls for intifada against Jews.
For us, mate. What are you doing for us?
Leisa, as you could hear there, they were not giving him a good reception, and rightly so, because what has he done since October 7 last year to help the Jewish community?
Well, yeah, they've absolutely been looking to him for leadership, and they've had none. This has been allowed to happen because he hasn't taken a strong stand since October last year. So this is what we're now dealing with in this country. And look, I agree with Holly. He should have had the moral compass and the leadership to say, OK, I need to go to Melbourne, I need to be there, and I need to talk to the Jewish people, not stay in Perth. And I don't know what his advisors were doing. Look, I do media for a living. I advise when you're in a crisis communication situation. And you have to think about what is the risk of not going out there and saying something. He should have been in Melbourne. He should not have had to be called out by Peter Dutton to say that this is a terrorist attack. He should have had the people around him, and he should have had the sense to say, I'm going there and I'm going to do what I did today. And maybe he wouldn't have copped the vitriol that he did, and rightly so.
Look, absolutely. And the other thing is, Holly, he's got a private jet.
No, it's not like he's got to ring up Qantas.
No.
Well, we know he can do that to get a personal upgrade.
He's not ringing 1-800 hotline.
He's not sitting on the line to Webjet going, is there a commercial flight getting me back to Melbourne from Perth? I mean, it's his favourite part of the job.
Yeah.
He was Airbus Albo for a reason, because he loves that jet. He loves it.
He loves that jet. But the thing is, get on that jet and get back home.
And, you know, it's sitting there waiting, ready to go. It's ready at any point in time. And the fact that he is so tone deaf, is so incapable of reading the mood of the country. And as we've acknowledged, this isn't the first incident. There's been many incidents, whether it was the October 9th on the Opera House, whether it was the Bondi Junction stabbings, whether it was the Bishop Murray attack. There have been a series of incidences that he has done nothing with. Like as Leisa said, maybe she should put a pitch in, Leisa. Maybe they'll give you a go, a bit of crisis management for the team.
They might need
a bit of training from you, because they've had a few trial runs and they're just not getting it right.
No.
They're just not responding. So, you know, I don't know. What's the woman that used to be at The Guardian? Murph-Faroo? Maybe Murph-Faroo.
What's she doing? What is she doing?
Well, I saw Murph-Faroo swanning around at we actually had a parliamentary sports day. You want to talk about tennis injuries? You should see the bruise still on my leg from a full-fledged going for the ball.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, full athleticism
You're a full athlete. A full athlete.
But, you know, we were raising money for the combat welfare, Joel Fitzgibbon's sons, the charity there. And, you know, but there's Murpharoo walking around a rugby field. But at what point was she going to say to him, actually, mate, maybe tennis isn't a good look.
It's not
maybe
a good
get
look.
yourself to Melbourne.
And he's donned the white. I mean, he was fully prepared for his tennis match. He had the suit, the whole white suit going. Leisa, no, sorry to interrupt. Yes, what were you saying?
Well, I was going to say, but to not even stop and actually address the questions that were thrown at him. He didn't even try to take control of that situation. So he left that looking very weak. And if you read, I always find with these stories, it's always interesting to look at the comments. And one of them was, I'm embarrassed to be a Labor voter. So if you have people within the Labor Party saying, well, this is a disgrace and you have let us down and you are not showing any strength as a leader, then you have a big problem.
I agree. And Leisa, the other thing is that, you know, he says that Jewish people have a right to feel safe. The reality is the Friday's attack actually proves why Jewish people are not safe right now in this country. I mean, we saw there was a representative of one of the Jewish associations. He says that they're taking off the kippah, they're taking off the Jewish skull cap when they're out in public because they are so scared that they're going to be set upon. And for the Prime Minister just seemingly swan in and swan out, what message is that sending them?
Yeah, it just didn't look sincere from a purely media optics. And I know there's more to play than this and just how it's looking to the public. But from an optics perspective, it looked shockingly bad for the Prime Minister. It was a dereliction of what we expect from him. He should have been showing leadership. He should have stopped. He should have addressed the questions. And to go back to the main point, he should have been there, 4 days ago.
Yeah, absolutely.